Good afternoon. Take my word for it, we've got some sparkling football for you again on the programme today. Full highlights of a match that thrilled a 55,000 crowd at Old Trafford yesterday, Manchester United against Newcastle United. Also from the First Division, a game with a late and decisive twist to it, Leicester City against Ipswich, and a goal report as the Second Division pacemakers Birmingham City visit Crystal Palace. First, though, Manchester United against Newcastle United.
Jesper Olsen scored against Chelsea in midweek, but the young Dane has yet to be on the winning side this season with Manchester United. The same goes for Gordon Strachan of Scotland, although he also got onto the score sheet on the opening day from the penalty spot against Watford. It's been anything but a flying start for United, but manager Ron Atkinson keeps faith with the team that drew against Chelsea. Norman Whiteside got into the side that night for the game when Alan Brazil was injured, and he keeps his place. And the substitute spot goes to Arnold Muren, underlining the strength in depth there is at Old Trafford. Newcastle United manager Jack Charlton also names an unchanged side. It's the one that was beaten by a sparkling Arsenal performance on Tuesday. It's another big test for them now, for a side that includes former United men David McCreary and Peter Beardsley. Peter spent 5 months here a couple of years ago, but never really got going, and then went back to rejoin Vancouver Whitecaps. The referee today, it's Maurice Robinson from Sutton Coldfield, and another big crowd at Old Trafford, and somewhere in it, but you won't pick him up, is Liverpool's injured striker Ian Rush, and Ian tells us he hopes to be back in action in 3 or 4 weeks' time. So Newcastle get us away in their famous stripes, attacking the goal to our left. Manchester United with those 4 games played, all 4 of them drawn. And a free kick instantly, and a foul there on the Newcastle player, with Manchester United having drawn those 3 games, but in 4 games rather, but in 3 of them they've been ahead. Steve Carney gets gingerly to his feet, and manager Ron Atkinson saying, just be patient with us, it will come. Brian Robson saying an hour or so ago, if we can only play as we did in the first half against Chelsea on Wednesday, it will certainly come. But United then still looking for their first win of the season. This is Ryan. Newcastle's throw. Beardsley. It's going to be David McCreary then with the throw for Newcastle to Beardsley, and now to Ryan. Olsen, a lovely touch there, on for Albiston. What a touch there by the young Dane, and Albiston taking full advantage of it. It almost comes through to Whiteside, and Hughes has got support here from his skipper Brian Robson. And in the end, it'll be Wharton who gets it away to Beardsley for Newcastle. What a supreme touch though by Olsen, and a lovely piece of running by Albiston. His back pass now finding Barry Bailey. Hughes. So I can let it go, hoping it would go through to Duxbury, but McCreary was there. Here's Waddle. He's got a lot of pace about him. He's giving Moran something to think about, but the cross quite easily gathered by Bailey. What a good throw to Brian Robson. Hughes on one side, Olsen away on the other. Now Jesper Olsen. On the white side. Strachan can take it up. And the cross, well, that could so easily have been turned in by Robson, who'd made a great run to the far post. In the end, it was Malcolm Brown who put it behind for the corner. Brown getting it away, not very far. Olsen's shot high in amongst the Newcastle fans behind that goal, and it will be a goal kick to the visitors. Graham Hogg. Saunders getting in there, McCreary, and now Ryan. Beardsley after this one. There's not much of him, but he takes an awful lot of stopping. Oh my word! And it was almost a touch there for McDonald after some brilliant work by Beardsley, which could so easily have seen Manchester United behind. A lovely little jinky run there where he beats two of them. And his pace then beats Graham Hogg, and his cross, sadly for Newcastle, also just beats McDonald. Finding Strachan. Danger threatens every time the little Scot gets the ball, taking that 1-2, but it didn't quite fall for him, but it falls for another Scot, Arthur Albiston. A little touch now for Strachan, and the shot that left Carr untroubled. There's a little quiver of anticipation every time Gordon Strachan gets possession, with some really fierce, aggressive running and a lot of jinking skill. Side. Hughes available. And Robson again and made one of those runs, but here's Olsen. The little chip in. Brian Robson has hit it wide. There looked a surefire goal from the moment Olsen had taken possession deep inside that Newcastle penalty area. And played back there beautifully for Robson. Somehow it went wide. Work again by Jesper Olsen. And really a tremendous break by Robson, but not quite the finishing touch that he or United wanted. A slip there by Hogg could have proved costly. Waddle couldn't quite move in on time. Roda's header again. Thank you, says Robson. Hughes couldn't get it back to him. Carney finds Ryan. Dispossessed by Olsen. And this is going to be a goal for Olsen! Well, it was Newcastle's own making. They put themselves in trouble. Olsen took possession of it, and a neat little move around the goalkeeper. And after that, it was just that formality. But it was the goal that Manchester United desperately wanted. Their play so far looked promising, but has been riddled by anxiety. And now they've got a chance to start to play a bit of football that so many people know that they can. In 3 games out of 4, they've had the lead and lost it. Now they'll be desperately anxious to hold on to it against Newcastle today. And don't overlook the fact that Newcastle have had their chances as well. Roda has defended so stoutly. United now with the sails, looking now for another one before we come to half-time. And Olsen going round his man, clipped in, but that man, Roda's there again, playing time added on at the end of the first half. Not much of it, because the whistle has gone, and indeed, overall, a fairly drab first half, it must be said, lit up for the most part by Jesper Olsen, some delightful touches. And then, to the vast relief of Manchester United, that goal right on the interval. Half-time score then here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Newcastle United 0. So Manchester United get the second half underway, but it's Newcastle who quickly get possession, and Peter Beardsley now. Robson, a former Newcastle United fan himself, the lad from Chester Street, Brian Robson. He tells me he's only played against them once, and they was in his West Bromwich Albion days when Albion won. That's the sort of result we could do with today, he says. United leading by 1-0 against Newcastle. Newcastle's throw. Which Dave McCreary will take. Albiston. Touch by right side, but not the one he wanted. But nonetheless, Manchester United get the throw. Olsen. Albiston. Olsen. Towards Hughes, but Saunders sticking there well, even at the expense of a corner, which Gordon Strachan is going across to take. Hughes, the Welsh international, and Gordon Strachan, the Scot. Man's making a run and a lunge towards this one. And it's Moses who really hammered it back there. And Robson still looking for a chance of turning it in, and in the end, Newcastle get it away. Duxbury. The opportunity of returning it once more, again towards Brian Robson, onside. Roda, who had a fine first half, the centre of that Newcastle defence, getting it away. Good organiser. Nice dummy there by Strachan. Whiteside playing it back again towards Duxbury, crossed in towards Moran. Right start in the second half for Manchester United. Wobbling rather badly there at the moment. Bad news for Welshmen. They have a World Cup game coming up against Iceland. Albiston. Whiteside. Oh, Albiston making a good break from the back. Here's Whiteside taking it up again, and the full-back going on Albiston. And a penalty given. A foul by Malcolm Brown on Arthur Albiston. And United now have an opportunity of getting a cushion of a 2-goal lead. That was the challenge. This is the result. And Gordon Strachan, who scored on the opening day from the spot against Watford, now has the chance to put it past Kevin Carr to make it 2-0. And that's what it is. Going the wrong way, and the ball sneaking in right down by the post. And Manchester United 2, Newcastle United 0. And so two new expensive signings both get on the score sheet today. Jesper Olsen and now Gordon Strachan. This might go for Waddle. Moran slipped just for a moment, and in the end it was Duxbury to the rescue for Manchester United. Waddle again. Good ball there from McCreary. No foul. To the annoyance of all those Newcastle fans, and anxiety for them now as Olsen takes it up again. Support from Brian Robson. In for Olsen again, in for Hughes onto the left foot, and somehow he saved it with his left foot. A lovely sweeping run by Manchester United, one of the best of the game so far in point of fact. The turn by Hughes, and off Carr's left foot to safety. At the moment it would seem to be Manchester United's game for the taking, although they have let things slide before this season when they've been in the lead. Oh, but suddenly Hughes is clear, and makes it 3. Well, that was a lucky break for United. No doubt about that. Ricochet that suddenly falls at the feet of Mark Hughes. He's absolutely clear, but his head is cool and his shot is sure. His second goal of the season. He'd got one against Ipswich last Saturday. And now it seems to be plain sailing for Ron Atkinson's men, as Moses finds Strachan, and in turn finds Duxbury. Robson spotting Strachan on the far side. Robson again. Strachan, good play here by United, and the cross, well, it somehow caught them all out, and it caught Brian Robson out as well. We really didn't expect Olsen to get that ball back, but United keep up this pressure now as Saunders gets it away. Manchester United's throw, a long cross coming in from Strachan, and I think everybody had given that up. The news was that Olsen hadn't, and I think if anything it took Brian Robson by surprise there. A chance maybe now for the visitors to make a break. Here's Waddle, he's got plenty of pace, he's got Beardsley waiting in the middle. Well, he might get another chance, good save! Wins Newcastle their first corner of the game and came within an ace, but for a brilliant piece of keeping by Bailey, of producing their first goal as well. Fine save. Loader getting in there, that could almost have been an own goal, it seemed to me, though, and in the end it's a goal kick. Certainly Glenn Roeder went for that. It seemed to me it came off Brian Robson. In the end, no harm done for Manchester United, it's a goal kick. Olsen, Duxbury, Robson, Olsen, combining beautifully those two as Robson now looks to get his cross in, but Carney is there, but he's only poked it out as far as Orbiston. Moses, Strachan, lovely play. Can Moses finish it off? Number 4! Brilliant goal! Well, that's a joy to watch again. The one-touch stuff here is brilliant. And Moses' determination to get through that challenge and to plant it into the back of the Newcastle net was supreme, and that's goal number 4. Look at it again. A touch there, one there, one there, one there. And then the finish from Remy Moses. 4-0. Well, it's the sort of football that Ron Atkinson will tell you United have been threatening to play all season. And sadly for Newcastle, they become the victims. As Robson plays it inside now for Orbiston. Played inside again and just over from right side. Within an ace of being number 5. Well, what a second half this is. And United really turning on the style now. Orbiston, who's been brilliant with his runs forward, and Whiteside couldn't quite finish it off. McCreary battling away, Duxbury. Play on, said the referee, no foul. Moses in possession, finds Hughes. Moses again. A long ball, seeking out Strachan, but not quite finding him. Yes, he has. This is 5. It's an absolute riot now. Strachan second, Manchester United's 5th, and look at the joy at the Stretford end as United come good at last. Well, a mistake there, again in the Newcastle defence. And I think this must be the 3rd time in the game that a forward has gone, or a United player has gone round the goalkeeper and planted it into an empty net. Malcolm Brown couldn't get possession. Strachan said thank you very much. And the rest again was a formality. Well, Newcastle making a substitution, and John Ryan, the fullback, goes off, and John Anderson, another defender, Irish boy from Dublin, comes on to take up the left-back position. And maybe more, as Hughes goes on. Good save. So nearly 6. If the whistle had gone. Great run again by Mark Hughes. Getting better with every game he plays. Blistering a shot which Kevin Carr pushes away. Olsen not offside. Hogg getting it back to Bailey. Good touch there by Whiteside for Strachan. Full right across there. Olsen got a header in. And he might get a chance of doing some more damage yet. Oh, a nice little back heel. Duxbury's onto it this time. Absolutely rampant United now. Roeder keeping them out. Olsen. Touch that takes him away from Wharton, but Wharton is back and gets possession and finds Beardsley. Such pace in this game, and Waddle's onside. 5 down they may be, but Newcastle still hammering and looking for something, and it took Graham Hogg to turn it away from the corner that time to deny them. Waddle again with Newcastle's corner, a floater this time. Brian Robson there to get it away. That time it was Hogg. And Duxbury, almost an arrogant little flick there for Olsen. Still 10 minutes to go. Certainly the Old Trafford crowd have really taken to Strachan and Olsen, and why not? They've produced the sort of stuff this afternoon that suggests it's going to be a good place to be this season. And here's Strachan again. Anderson getting it away. Duxbury, Moses, Olsen, and Strachan onside, Whiteside towards the near post. Mark Hughes, and it was a little too high for him. Waddle. 3 United players around him. He got past Robson, but having got past Robson, he had Albiston to contend with. But Newcastle get a throw. All they can look for now is a consolation. And not even that. Ball out of play, the goal kick. Is from faithful Newcastle fans, just stirring their team and hoping for something even at this late stage. Oh, Whiteside says thank you as Anderson misses his challenge and finds Moses. And now for Strachan, crossed in there, but keeper was down. with Whiteside and Hughes behind him. He needed to be. Olsen, Robson, Moses. Manchester United's throw. Full-time whistle, and Manchester United truly back in business. A drab and disappointing first half, but a blistering and riveting second one. Jesper Olsen setting them on their way with that goal just before half-time. Gordon Strachan weighing in with 2, and the other ones coming from Mark Hughes and Remy Moses. Manchester United 5, Newcastle United 0.
Certainly a tough day for Newcastle, but as their manager, honest Jack Charlton, put it, we were as bad as the scoreline. However, if you're a Manchester United supporter, I suppose that's got to be the best day of the season so far. Had you become a little bit anxious with these 4 games and without a win?
Yeah, I think we got a little bit frustrated, especially in front of our own fans. I mean, there's another fantastic crowd here today, and the last 2 games have been great crowds. And you really get frustrated because you're letting them down, you know, when we're not winning games. So it was lovely to see everybody here again and for us to put on a good performance for them.
And tell me, what's it like having Jesper Olsen and Gordon Strachan in your side, playing alongside them now?
Well, the difference it's made to last year, we've got a lot more width in the side. Really, it was just defending-wise, really. We were struggling a little bit because Jesper and Gordon weren't particularly used to tucking in and helping us out when other teams were attacking us. But the last few games, we've got going a little bit better. And today it all come together.
Now we go from a present-day Manchester United hero, Brian Robson, to one of the recent past, Steve Coppell, now manager of 2nd Division Crystal Palace. Well, yesterday, Steve's team were at home to Birmingham City. Our reporter is Peter Brackley.
Steve Coppell is the first to tell you that at 29 he's still wearing his L plates in football management, a profession in which Ron Saunders, his opposite number with Birmingham, he's the one in the suit, has worked so meticulously since the 60s. Coppell has now come to terms with the premature end to his playing career and is relishing the challenge of reviving a club that seems to have lost its way. Palace's early form has been disappointing. In contrast, Birmingham in the darker shirts have begun well. The confidence of 3 straight wins evident early on. Robert Hopkins helping to create a chance here for Martin Cool. Then after 10 minutes, Hopkins, so often in trouble last season, shows he can make headlines for the right reasons too. A stunning shot that takes a deflection and Birmingham are ahead. Palace, frankly, make little impression on Birmingham's defence for the rest of the half. The nearest to an equaliser, Jerry Murphy's effort that Tony Coton does well to save. Birmingham begin the second half as they started the first. Hopkins again reveals his pace, but not the finish to match. Within minutes, though, Birmingham do increase their lead. Defender Pat van den Houw breaking down the left, provides the cross, and in comes Wayne Clark, who resembles so closely his brother Alan, even the wave's the same. What few inspired moments there are from Palace come from former Everton winger Alan Irvine. His skill creates several openings. This one ends in somewhat unsavoury fashion. 2-0 to Birmingham is the final score. 4 successive wins equals their best ever start to a season. As for Steve Coppell, he fully appreciates the size of his task.
Yeah, difficult. If it wasn't difficult, I wouldn't have got the job. But I'm no quitter. There's no way after 3 games of a 42-game season that I'm going to be thinking about throwing any towels in. I just said to the players, we'll be back Monday. We'll start again, dust ourselves off, and we'll be back for next Saturday's game against Brighton.
So Birmingham keep their 100% record, but so too do Leeds United, who stay top. Birmingham second on goal difference. All right, for our third game, we go back to the First Division for Leicester City against an Ipswich side still looking for their first win of the season. 4 games, 4 draws so far. Our commentator's Martin Tyler. We joined the game at the start of the second half. Leicester City are in blue.
Leicester start the second half, and Ipswich Town have Kevin O'Callaghan on for the second half, and straight from the kick-off, Andy Peake and Lineker off the line by Butcher. Well, if Ipswich are reorganising a little bit with a substitution, Alan Sunderland is the player who's off. Andy Peake got clear through, and Mark Grew blocked him well. The ball looping up for Gary Lineker, and the header knocked off the line by Terry Butcher, who got back to cover. Bobby Ferguson doing the shouting in the light suit and the pointing. On from Alan Smith. Now Lineker, can he make it count this time? He can! That partnership has paid off again. There's tremendous understanding between Lineker, the scorer, and Alan Smith, the provider. A subtle touch from Smith. And Lineker just kept going, although Burley caught him, and planted it past Grew. Butcher biding his time before picking out Putney with the pass. It's further forward, really, where Ipswich have their problems. Lineker for Lynex, it was cheekily done. Alan Smith was mishit. He will be as aware as anyone, Alan Smith, that it was an unfortunate miss. There's a chance maybe for Leicester to secure the victory that would mean so much to them. The 1-0 lead, always by its very definition, remains a fragile one. And O'Callaghan caught up in Wilson's attempts to stop him. He's got a free kick. It's noticeable that Ipswich have switched O'Callaghan to the right in the last 5 minutes or so. And he takes the free kick. And up in the air rather than away safely from John O'Neill. Brennan and Gates. That's a real piece of opportunism in the true Eric Gates tradition. He was sharp as a needle then. Look for Mark Brennan as the ball drops out. And that could have gone anywhere, but Gates was the first to react, and he fired it past Wallington. O'Callaghan. Butcher has stayed forward if the cross can come in. And Davray, and now Zondervan. Oh! It was off the line by Ian Wilson, and a combination of the post as well, I think. Seems barely time for Wallington to get it forward. Lynex. Run back by O'Callaghan. A nice interplay between O'Callaghan and Steve McCall. Gates. O'Neill wanted handball. If it struck Gates' arm, it wasn't intentional. O'Callaghan's cross, Davray, and it's a corner. 2 minutes of stoppage time played. Brennan will take it. Osman. Half away by Ramsey. Osman again. And now Butcher. The Leicester City supporters urging the referee to blow the final whistle. Brennan. And finally, McDonald can bring it out. And here's Bright. And now maybe the Leicester fans will want more time to be added on as Mark Bright takes on Osman. McDonald. Lynex at the far post. And the There was no one arriving as Linex knocked the ball back. So both sides in stoppage time have had a chance to turn what seemed to be a certain draw into a victory. And now Lineker and Linex. He's won it now! Steve Linex! 3 minutes into injury time. And Ipswich will wonder how, and surely wonder why so much time was added on. But Lineker fed Linex, he kept his head. Drew is furious. It's Leicester City 2, Ipswich Town 1.
What amazing stuff. Ipswich then within seconds of making it 5 draws in 5 games, still sadly looking for their first win. That's it for today. On a day when Manchester United have found their real form, and that's a warning to everybody in the First Division. 5 goals, and watch out again for the best of the lot, the one that celebrates the call-up to the England squad of Remy Moses. Good afternoon.
Finds Ryan, dispossessed by Olsen, and this is going to be a goal for Olsen! And Gordon Strachan now has the chance to put it past Kevin Carr to make it 2-0. And that's what it is. Oh, but suddenly Hughes is clear and makes it 3. Moses, Strachan, lovely play. Can Moses finish it off? Number 4! This is 5. It's an absolute riot now.